We didn't get off to the best start on our holiday, as we arrived to a heaving Gatwick where lots of flights had been delayed due to the fog. EasyJet did give us some vouchers, so we went to Pizza Express and killed some time there. And we ended up leaving 5 hours late, with lots of waiting at every point. This is at the gate, which we still didn't have a seat at, but we did eventually get onto the plane. But that did mean that we landed at about midnight. I'd booked this private transfer via Dom Tours, which I have to say I was very pleased with because they didn't grumble at all about the delay, and there were 2 child car seats on arrival and it was perfect. So we arrived at Les Arcs 1950 at 3:30 in the morning and then had to bring our suitcases through to the chalet. We slept in the next morning and decided not to get the kids up for ski school. Instead, we went at a leisurely time to Skiset, which is right in the middle of the village, and got all our ski hire sorted from there. So they have this fancy machine where it scans your feet, and therefore they give you the correct size of boots instantly and you don't have to try them on. And then they fitted all the boots to the skis, sorted out helmets, poles, everything that we needed. If you can avoid going at peak times, then I would recommend it because otherwise it can be quite a stressful experience. We took the children out skiing that afternoon, but resilience started to wane quite early and the cold got to everybody along with the tiredness, and we did end up going back early, going to bed at 7. After a 12-hour sleep, we were refreshed and ready to join the ski school. So this is my 6-year-old in the green group, who had a lovely instructor called Alex. This is with Evolution 2. And my other 3 started in the blue group, but this one here, got moved up to the red group the first morning. So the children were in ski school from 9:15 to 11:45, and this is the green group returning at lunchtime. So we would then go home, have lunch, and then head out again with all the children. This was one of our favourite spots where we always have snowball fights. But soon enough, it was time for dinner. So we went to Luigi's on our first night, and we had some really delicious pasta and also celebrated a birthday. There are lots of restaurants available in the village, but obviously, as with everything with skiing, it is quite expensive. So we did also bring our own food. The next day was New Year's Eve and the sun was shining again. Towards the end of the day, we stopped for a mojito and a hot chocolate, and we saw that the ESF instructors were doing a display on the mountain. So there was music and people dancing, and there was a light show on the mountain, and then the ESF instructors all went up with coloured torches, and then they skied off-piste down the mountain in formation, and you can see them right at the top of the mountain there coming down, which was really quite impressive. After this, there were fireworks early enough that the children could see them, but then there were obviously fireworks at midnight, which sadly I was tucked up in bed for because our youngest was just never going to make ski school in the morning if we kept her up till midnight again. So these are the ESF instructors having skied down the mountain and coming down, throwing out sweets into the crowd, and the children absolutely loved it. The next morning, everyone was quite tired, but we were back in ski school in the morning, and then in the afternoon we did this beautiful run near La Plagne, which was obviously easy skiing, but so lovely with the sun out, the trees just going through the forest. The children loved it, as did the adults. That afternoon, I did feel like I needed a well-deserved rest from skiing. So I took myself off to the spa, which is called Deep Nature. And I had a full body massage, which was incredible. And then afterwards, you have an hour's entry into the spa. So this is the relaxation room. And they had 2 hot tubs, this outdoor sauna, which you can see there, and this cool cave-like swimming pool and jacuzzi. So this is more my kind of vibe. We were incredibly lucky because overnight it snowed heavily. The visibility had cleared up by the morning, but there was just so much fresh powder. It was unbelievable, but actually to ski in was really, really hard to turn. So in the morning, there were long queues for the lifts as well, because lots of the lifts were shut. So this was one of the queues at the bottom of the mountain to get back up. And this other chairlift on the left was shut. So there were huge queues, whereas my husband found an empty bit of the mountain to ski through powder. I was quite happy to go back with a friend and have a hot chocolate. And the afternoon actually made for much better skiing because the sun came back out. The powder had been skied through a bit to flatten it out. And we had the most incredible last afternoon skiing in fresh powder, blue sky. What more could you want? Our transfer was that evening, so we stayed in an airport hotel with an early flight. I will leave details below.